If you are putting on a mask and not really being authentic, you might attract people, but it's only temporary and it's the wrong people. The reason you are where you are is because you believe what you believe, period.
Yeah.
And that's what controls your decisions and your behavior and your mindset and everything. There's no key to success. There's no lock you have to get a key for and unlock it. There's a combination, and we all have our own. Discipline is a decision. It's a choice. You already have it. You're just choosing not to do it. They say everyone has their own gifts. The biggest gift is free will. Use that power.
All right, Dos, the last stop on this tour is here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm so excited to speak to our guest, Bradley. Welcome to the dos&d show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, mate, we're wrapped. Thank you for having us. This is an unbelievable setup. And to be honest, it's a lot more upbeat and positive than last night. We went to the casino last night and it wasn't overly nice, was it?
No, I imagine that's a stupid game to play here in Las Vegas.
Which?
Well, just be at the casino. Craps we were playing.
Yeah, these casinos are not built because everybody wins.
Yes.
They're built on the losers.
Which was us.
Unfortunately for the one night.
It's generally everyone eventually.
Yeah.
That's why if you win, they'll give you rooms and keep you here and just literally shower you with whatever you want, food, rooms. And then when you lose, oh no, we don't have any rooms for you. Sorry. People think it's usually backwards. Like if I lost, at least they'll give me a room. It's the opposite. If you win their money, they'll keep you here. If they take your money, out you go. Go get some more. Come on back.
And that's what we did. So what's Las Vegas like as a place to actually live and work from and build a business?
Well, I love it. A lot of people ask how I moved here. And the funny thing is, I didn't move here. I came to visit a buddy and brought about $2,800 with me, which was every penny I had to my name, and drove down here and lost it all in the first day and had to get a waiter's job to get a little money to get back home. So as soon as I got a waiter's job, I started meeting locals, getting invited places. And within a couple of weeks, I met this little local 10 and decided, well, I could stay a couple more weeks. And that turned into, long time.
How old were you then?
22.
So you were a baby. Yeah.
I moved here when I was 21.
Okay. Jeez. Yeah. There's a key part of, I've heard you share this a couple of times, and the authenticity of being yourself and being a family. My dad, his dream was to take us to Disneyland as a kid, and eventually he built his business up enough and he got to take us and my two sisters to Disneyland. And you used to tell kids as a kid that your dad used to own Disneyland. Was it true?
Yeah.
I know it wasn't true.
It's true that I did it. It's not true that we owned it. We didn't really have any money. That was my attempt to fit in, because we lived in this house on a hill that was like a little shithole, but surrounding us were like beautiful homes that belonged on a hill. So for some reason, I don't know how it ever happened, but there was a little shithole right in the middle of nice houses up on this hill. And so all the neighborhood kids, came from money, and we didn't. And so I would just lie, told them we owned Disneyland. I'd bring out Monopoly cards like, hey, look, we own Park Place. But obviously wasn't true.
So on that authenticity factor, how has that then come to build the multiple businesses you've done and your life?
Well, I mean, I was kind of outcast because of that. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't fun as a kid being like literally ostracized because I lied so much. So my parents moved about 15 miles north to a town called Eugene, Oregon. And that's when I decided, like, I'm not ever bullshitting people again. It is what it is. I'm just going to be myself. And if someone doesn't like it, well, then that's their problem. And that's kind of how and why I believe in authenticity. Because again, I mean, at the end of the day, man, people don't realize the universe works in mysterious ways. If you are putting on a mask and not really being authentic, you might attract people, but it's only temporary and it's the wrong people because your energy that you emit is literally what draws in the other like energy. So the energy you give out is the energy you get back. So when you're putting on a mask or you're not really yourself, you draw in people, and that's why you have conflict and problems and, relationships break, because you're not really being authentic. If you, put an authentic foot forward, the natural selection will bring the right people into your environment. And they tend to stay because, you're real. So at the end of the day, like, just be yourself. But more people are worried about everyone else's opinion because they need others' validation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need you guys to think I'm cool, so I feel good. And I think especially when you start young like I did, when you start, battling that, and you just start to say, screw it, I'm going to be who I am. And, if you like me, great. And if you don't, you don't. It kind of builds over time. So I had a lot of runway to kind of create that.
Mm-hmm. How do you spot a bullshitter? Because there's bullshitters everywhere. Not just meaning in sales, meaning in life in general. Is it easy to spot someone who's not quite trustworthy or not authentic?
Not if they're good. I mean, it's hard because, again, not to mention we want people to be, certain things. We look for the good, I think, a lot of us. And so when you see it, you have to trust it. I trust way too easily, but it's not easy spotting a bullshitter. I mean, there's some that are bad at it, and you can tell. And then also just listen, pay attention, like watch how they treat waiters and waitresses, watch how they treat each other. Like, just watch how someone treats other people, and you can get a good idea whether they're, I think, a good person. But bullshitting, it's kind of hard to tell.
We were talking.
Usually I say if their lips are moving, they're probably bullshit.
Or if they don't stop. Yeah.
We're talking in the green room before coming in, and we're talking about COVID and our country and how it's affected. And we'll talk about intuition, which I find really interesting. So using your intuition in business and people, in even things that go on in the world, talk to us a little bit about trusting your gut.
Well, I'm learning to do it more the older I get. I think if people could learn to do that more quickly, it would benefit them. Mm-hmm. It would serve them well. For a long time, I would feel, I don't know, but I'd do it anyway. My intuition was saying no, but I did it anyway. And every time I look back and go, I wish I would have just trusted my gut. But I think we all have intuition, and we just learn to question it.
Yeah.
And I think people should listen to it more. You walk up and you feel something weird about somebody, I'd listen to it personally. Mm-hmm. But I'm learning to do that more only because I've had so many times where, I should have listened. I knew it. Too good to be true type of things. And then boom, yeah, damn it, I knew it. So the older you get, you start to trust that intuition a little bit more. But I think everyone should automatically. I think it's just natural.
The biggest difference since the last time I was here was this huge division. That last time people would say, what's it like in America? I said patriotic, felt patriotic. It's kind of 2019. Now it feels so divided, but people seem confused. There's half the population that's, when we talk about intuition, it seems like they'll just go with whatever's told, and there's half that wants to rebel against that. Where do you see a healthy balance, and can that be brought back together?
I think if you hold the media accountable and stop confusing people, it would get a lot better. Mm-hmm. They show racism. There's not as much racism as they portray. I think the media or the powers that be want division. They don't want us together, because if we start, the country was based on the Constitution, and it starts out, we the people. So we the people, the citizens, everybody, we decide who wants to go to this government office and represent us. And technically, we're electing someone to go and speak for us. But, the way it went is, lawyers were put in there and amendments were made, and pretty soon you got the, fox guarding the hen house. So they don't really want us to come together, because then we would be in control. And I don't think the powers that be want us in control. So they keep us divided with fake news. There's legitimate fake news. So why are they doing that? It's because they want us divided. They want me hating you and you hating me, and they don't want us communicating, and they want us opposed all the time. Like there used to be videos where someone would walk up on the street and say, hey, I'll just use Donald Trump as an example, since people get the Donald Trump derangement syndrome. And they'll say, here's what Donald Trump said. And they'll be like, oh my God, that's crazy. I hate that guy. I would never agree with that. And then they go, well, actually, Obama said that. And they'd switch, like, who said what? And people don't know their ass from the hole in the ground. It's like, dude, they're just watching the news. That's why they're called sheep. They don't think for themselves. So I try not to watch the news. I try not to pay too close attention to the media, because they're lying, period. So if they're lying, what people do is they see something they don't like. Oh, the media lies. Then they see something that kind of goes with what they want, and they're like, see, the media says it. It's like you can't have it both ways. They're either lying or they're not. Whether it's good or bad, they're lying. And once you think, I think they do lie, I just eliminate.
This episode with Bradley in Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas!
It's brought to you by Fleet Plant Hire Solutions.
Now, we need to say a big thank you to Fleet Plant Hire Solutions, who has been the backbone of the dos&d show for over 2 years now, but are also the backbone of all the biggest projects in Australia.
Head to fbh.com.au. Find out more today.
Back to the episode with Mr. Brad Lee.
I instantly think of my parents and my nan and other family members, extended family, who are the couple of generations above me, and they're consuming this all the time. And it's this fear-mongering. It's constantly in fear. There's, at the moment in Melbourne, Australia, there's a lot of youth crime going on, and that's all what's on the news. But there's nothing happening around my area. I don't know. I guess how this us say the generation, our generation, how do we communicate that with our parents? So say my parents are saying, "Oh, this is terrible. It's so much fear." They're full of fear.
Yeah, don't go to America.
Don't go to America. Don't go there, because bad shit's happening. Look how the place is being run. We're going. That's where dreams are made of. This is the land of opportunity, and it has been for us since we've been here already. But how do you communicate to people that you love that no, it's actually okay? Like, because we do our research, or we're doing our due diligence and looking into things, but for them, the news is the closest thing to that. What would you say to that?
Well, I mean, communication isn't really what you say, it's what they hear. So it's hard sometimes to communicate, because, like, if I just started speaking a language you don't understand, are we communicating?
No.
So they have to understand. So when you say, how do the young kids talk to their parents? Well, then you have to talk to them like they understand. I mean, you have to put yourself kind of in their shoes. Personally, though, I would advise you, if they start warning you, and you're, 30?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just walk up and give her a hug and a kiss and say, Mom, I'll be fine, love you. I'll call you every day to make sure you know I'm safe.
It's exactly what
I'll
I
see
did.
you later. I'll see you. Like, I wouldn't sit there and try and convince them of anything. Like, dude, their time's over. Like, you're 30, okay? It's your life now. Yeah. So obviously you love your mom. You give her a hug. You give her a kiss. Say, Mom, I'll be fine. I'll call you every day. Because you're going regardless, unless you're a mama's boy and you do everything your mom tells you, in which case you wouldn't be sitting here.
No.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not a communication expert. I just personally, when people aren't listening, I stop talking. So if my parents are just dead set against something that I'm set on, I don't communicate. I kind of let my actions speak. Like when you guys get home safely, that's it. She'll realize it's fine. And again, like, dude, people say, go to Mexico. The cartel will cut your head off. I have buddies going to Mexico all the time. They come back. It was great. You know, I was told Australia, like I always wanted to go to Australia. And then I saw what happened at COVID and like, oh, dude, they got people marching around the streets. If you leave your house, you'll get arrested. Then I talked to my buddy in Australia and he goes, that's exactly right.
Yeah, true.
And we confirmed that this morning.
Yeah. So it's like that made me stop wanting to go to Australia. But that just goes to show what ultimately frustrates me about all countries. We are the people that are electing these people, and then they turn around and act like they own us. And that's why they don't want us to communicate. Because if we could communicate collectively And we all just agreed, hey, if these police come and do anything, the jury won't, convict us. If we were able to communicate, then they wouldn't have any power, period. So I think that's why they keep us divided. When these guys go into their meetings and get their stamps and everybody signs and, hey, that's the new law, that was passed into law. Well, these are the representatives that we sent up there that are doing that, right? So you would think, well, they're operating on our behalf. But then when something happens, like COVID, they turn around and act like, you will do this. And I'm like, I don't remember voting for mandatory this or mandatory that. I don't remember being asked whether this was something everybody wanted or not. And then they start showing the news. The Democrats are saying this. The Republicans are saying that. And a lot of people think those guys are working together more than you think they are. It's not really a Democratic thing and a Republican thing. It's a them against us thing. Because if you think about it, how is their money made? How is your government's money made?
Tax.
Yeah, it's us. We're paying. We're being told what to do. We're technically idiots. We're cattle. They basically herd us around and tell us what to do, and nobody stops to think, like, wait a minute. If we're all against this, how is this the law? Like, who gets to decide? Because technically it's supposed to be us, but yet when they pull these things, the majority of people are not down with this, but yet it's still the law. So again, I think you're just stuck. What do you do? I don't pay attention to it, just like I wouldn't pay attention to my mom. Once you reach a certain age and you get some, what we say here in America, grow some balls, dude, you're a man. You go out there and make decisions and own what you do and be ethical and kind. Like, I try to be kind. I try to be generous. I try to be everything to where I don't need everyone else's approval because I approve myself. I already know my intentions, right? So when you get in that position, the government's doing this, the government's doing that. Let them. Didn't bother me. They raised the taxes, make more money. They're forcing the vaccine. Well, here they didn't force it, but they did their best to persuade you. I wouldn't have gotten it no matter what.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same.
Yeah, if they said, you can't fly, guess I'm driving. Can't drive, guess I'm walking.
In our case, we need a swim. We need a swim to get out of our country.
If you can't go to the store, I would have called some of my people that got the vaccine and said, go to the store for me. Like, there was no way in the world I would have gotten that shot unless I looked around and people were dropping dead.
Yeah.
But again, they said the hospitals were full and ventilators didn't have enough and people were dying. So I live up on a hill and there's a hospital at the bottom of the hill. So I'm watching the news and it shows the hospital that I drive by every day slam packed. And I'm like, so I got in my vehicle, went down there. It was not slam packed. I'm like, what is going on? So I just knew, like, dude, there's something weird going on. This is weird.
Yeah.
And I don't know if everybody knows it now, but if you don't know by now, boy, you are a dumbass. 'Cause
Naive.
It was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think it was a test to see how much control they had. And unfortunately, we failed
Yeah.
because a majority of the people fell right into it. Well, I couldn't travel. They wouldn't let me see my mother.
Crazy. It's
Not
crazy.
me, bro. I would have said, Mom, I'll see you someday. I'm not getting that shot.
Yeah.
But anyway, hindsight's 20/20.
That's it.
Tom.
So, talking about saying to your mum, I'll prove you wrong kind of thing. As an example, to get to where you are today, I'm sure you've been told 1,000 times, that won't work. Don't do this. That's a bad idea. I'd love to hear a couple of examples of times where you've been told, don't do it, that won't work, you're going to lose money, this blah, 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 and then turned it around and...
Well, number one, you generally look back after being told all those things and you look at the people that told you that, and they're not doing anything anyway. So usually it's the people that are succeeding and doing the things that everyone told those guys that it was impossible that will encourage you and say, well, yeah, give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen? It's always the people that haven't figured anything out for themselves that are going to stop you from doing it. Because I think deep down, they're trying to protect you. Obviously, they're not wanting you to be nothing. But when you're going to go out and do it, all they can do is basically project what stopped them. So just remember that when you're listening to someone say, well, what are you doing that for? I was told not to start this podcast. Everybody's got a podcast, Brad. Oh, you're going to be one of those guys? And I said, well, listen, people are already coming in here to film. I had Grant and Tony Robbins and all these people coming in here, dream guests for podcasters. And I'm like, shit, dude, I'll just get a couple microphones and start picking their brain. And so that's all I did. Like, it's unbelievable how easy it was. I just got a couple microphones and said, hey, while you're here, come in here and shoot the shit with me a little bit. And next thing you know, Dropping Bombs was started like 7-8 years ago. And like last year, I think it did about $5.5 million. Right to Hip National Bank. Do you guys have Hip National Bank in Australia? You don't?
No.
I think you do. Just go like this.
Oh, smart ass.
Hip National Bank, best bank in the world.
That's it.
But, so now all of a sudden, the same people that said, why are you starting a podcast, Brad? Are like, dude, let me on your podcast. I'm like, why, bro? It's just another podcast.
Yeah.
What does it matter? You guys have similar story. You said it went tons of time, no one was listening, and then finally just caught some wind. Well, that's because you consistently kept going. But what if you'd have listened to people go, dude, you're going to start a podcast? Who's going to listen to you two freaking clowns? And a lot of people listen. They're like, yeah, I guess you're right. But I wouldn't listen. I'd listen to the man inside, right? The person inside. I say, listen, you want me to introduce you guys? I'll try it on you guys. You want me to introduce you to someone that can guaranteed make you multimillionaire and everything you've ever wanted in life? Would you like an introduction?
Yes, please.
Yeah, they all say that. And then I say, okay, go to a bathroom, any bathroom usually, make sure it's empty, and then shut the door and look around, and you'll see the son of a bitch. And when you do, be nice to that person. Like, kiss his ass. Quit trying to kiss everyone else's ass and start kissing his ass or her ass if you're a girl. Because that's who can frickin' get you where you want to go. And it's literally the only person that can. Like, I get credited a lot from younger people about how I changed their life with, my podcast or my book or something I said. And I'm like, thank you, because I love hearing it. I mean, it's cool. But in reality, who did it? They did it. So they're giving me the credit for them changing their life. Because again, they did it. I didn't do it. All I did was said something. And then they said, I like that, or I believe that. And so they did something. That's what changed their life. It wasn't the information. It was the action taken behind it. And they made the decision to do it. They put the work in. And that's all it is. Like, if you want to be successful in this world, it's pretty simple. I don't care whether you're from Australia or anywhere. First thing you have to do if you want to make money, because again, a lot of people think money is success. Well, I think it's a part of it, but it's not just money. But the first thing you need to do is get in the position to receive commission, period. What's that mean? Sell something. You got to sell something. There's something that you have to sell. Now, a lot of people won't take a sales job. Why? Well, what if I don't sell anything? See what I mean? It's like this negative, scarce, unsure, no certainty. Get rid of that. Why? Well, because you're a freaking human being. First of all, we're blessed. We're freaking incredibly magnificent. In reality, we are. Like, dude, you can cut your skin without even trying. It'll just heal itself.
Crazy.
It'll just send platelets and shit down there, and all of a sudden you get a scab. Next thing you know, it renews, and next thing you know, it's perfectly healed. What the hell? Think about that.
Yeah.
So it's like, we have balance. We can move. We can think. We have minds. We have, and we have a frequency. And the whole thing about human beings, or anything, even this table, anything, everything has a frequency, a vibrational frequency. So we live in a universe of vibrational frequency. And if you can change your frequency, I'm telling you, it attracts what your frequency is. So if you're, rolling around in this frequency, you're going to attract like frequency. So a lot of people are stuck in hell. They think it's hell. Number one, them thinking it's hell is another reason it's hell. Like, I can put two people in the same situation where you might say, oh, that's a terrible situation. We all might agree, damn, dude, I wouldn't want to be in that situation. But go ask somebody in a worse situation. They would love to be in that situation. So what's the difference? What's the difference?
Mindset.
It's perspective. It's mindset. It's 100% right here. So at the end of the day, if people can get control of their mind, then they start to realize, like, wait a minute, I'm choosing to be in a bad mood. I'm choosing to be negative. I'm choosing to be scared. I'm choosing this shit. See how freaking crazy that sounds?
Yeah.
Like you're choosing to be broke. You're choosing to be fat. And then everybody, well, it's not me. It's I got a thyroid issue and I didn't have a mommy and blah, 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 blah. Those are called excuses, because even if that's true, it just means you have to do a little more work. If you have a thyroid issue, run 10 miles instead of the normal person having to run 2. It doesn't mean you cannot be in shape, period.
Yeah.
It boils down to discipline. And most people will say, I don't have any discipline. Well, go to the store and get some. Like, what do you mean? The shit isn't something you buy. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you get discipline?
Consistency, doing something over a long period of time.
No, where do you get discipline?
Well, you can't
You got to
buy it.
have discipline to
Yeah.
do that.
You can't buy it.
But where do you get it?
Mindset.
No, where do you get it? Like right now, let's say you've been trying to lose weight. You've been trying to get rich. You've been trying to do whatever you've been trying to do. But obviously consistency matters, right? But you can't get yourself to continuously do something. So you need discipline. So where do you get it?
Accountability.
No, where do you get it? You know where you get it? You don't get it at the store. Where do you get it?
Internally. Through it's only I believe with discipline it can only be done. You can motivate me as much as you want, but until I make that decision and action it, there's no.
See, you just touched on it. Number one, until you made a what? Until you made a
Decision.
decision. Discipline is a fucking decision. It's a choice. You already have it. You're just choosing not to do it. So again, it's a choice. It's not something that you have to develop and earn and all this bullshit they teach us. Okay. You have to choose it. And sometimes people get in a situation where the situation is more painful than making the choice. So they make the choice and they come out the other side and they're like, I don't know why I didn't make that decision earlier. Because that's all it was a decision. You had it in you the entire time. Ask 1 million successful people. They'll all tell you a story like that, where it's like, shit, dude, like I was holding myself back.
Yeah.
And then you tell somebody that's not what I call enlightened yet, because you don't realize it until you realize it. But you tell someone that and guess what they say? Nah, easy for you to say. People always say, Brad, it's easy for you because you're rich and good looking. And I say, I haven't always been rich.
You are good looking. As soon as you walked in, I thought, geez, he's filling out that shirt very nicely.
Well, thank you, mate. Because I chose discipline.
Exactly.
That's it.
One thing I love hearing you talk about, and you mentioned it just briefly before, is there's no key to success. You say there's a combination to success.
That's right. You guys must have read my book or something.
And the comment, like I resonate with that so much because everyone's different. You know, we're not all built the same. We don't all have the same DNA. Each and every one of us individuals is different.
I just gave you a bomb.
There
we go. We got an official
We've
bomb.
forgot-
You got a bomb and you aren't even on dropping bombs.
Give me that. I just got a bomb. Yes.
Yeah, but that's a fact what you just said.
Yeah.
There's no key to success. There's no lock you have to get a key for and unlock it. There's a combination and we all have our own. Like my combination may not unlock your success. Why? Because it's not the same thing. I know people that, listen, if they made $200,000 a year and had all the time in the world to coach their kids soccer and go fishing and have no worries over income, they're happy. They don't need the freaking car collection. They don't need the badass watches. They don't need private jets to be happy. They're happy spending time with their family and fishing and doing the shit they enjoy, which, by the way, is probably the smarter of the two, because guess what? That's all that matters. Like at the end of the day, once you get a lot of money, you start to realize the things that bring you the most joy don't cost any money. So you spend your whole life trying to get this money. Then you realize, like, shit, dude, I could have been happy just hanging out at the park with my kids. But at the end of the day, you can also have both. So what do you want is the key. What do you want is the question. And once you get there, then you realize, okay, so that's your combination. And I might disagree with you, and that's okay, because my ideas of success might vary. But who are you trying to build success for? You or me? So what does my perception matter? So again, if people are trying to be successful, I would say you have to get in the position to receive commission, because I know a lot of people that I don't think anything's possible. So there are exceptions. But if someone asked me, Brad, I want to be financially well off, I would say, are you in the position to receive commission of any kind? The answer is no. Well, then get there. What's step one? Get in the position to receive commission. Start a company, go work for someone with a company that will pay you commission, and get in that position first. Then you need the right mindset. You need the right energy. The energy that you emit matters. It just, even in sales, because you got to sell something. And what people don't realize is we're selling every day any damn way. You're selling your kids on doing their homework. You're selling your wife on where to go to dinner. You're selling people all day, every day anyway. So the difference between good salespeople and bad ones are the bad ones don't know they're doing it. All you got to do is realize, okay, it's sales in a way. So let me get good at sales. Well, that's a skill set. So you need the mindset in order to get your skill set. Because if you have the wrong mindset, you quit, you give up, you don't believe, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
And you never have enough consistency and time to develop the skill set that pays that money that you're looking for. So you need the mindset, then you need the skills, then you need the habits, okay, which develop over time. So look at your habits, and I'll bet you anything, that's probably where your life is going wrong. Look at your habits, look at your skills, and then look at your mindset. Those three pillars, if you can master those three areas, dude, it's over. You can do anything you want to do. And that is the truth. But the energy is the key, because people wake up in the morning, for example. I always tell people, this video went viral a long time ago. I was asking these people, I was on their podcast, and I said, let me ask you a question. If I gave you $1 million right now, how would you feel? And they're like, oh, geez, holy moly, dude, man, I'd feel so freaking good. I'd feel relief. I'd feel enthusiastic. This would be the best day of my life. And I said, well, if I said I'd give it to you, but you couldn't wake up tomorrow, would you take it? And they said, well, obviously not. And I said, so then you agree that waking up is worth more than $1 million? Well, yeah. How about 5 million? No. How about 10 million? Yeah, like I wouldn't take any amount of money not to wake up. So waking up is worth more than anything in the whole world to you? Yes. Then why aren't you feeling the same appreciation every time you wake up? And so, like, if people could just realize that that is true, if it is for me, well, then when I wake up, dude, I go extreme gratitude, and that's an energy. I call it heavenly energy and earthly energy. Heavenly energy is what you would imagine is in heaven, right? What would you imagine being in heaven? And if someone goes, well, I don't believe, just pretend. What would you think is up there? You know, courage and generosity and kindness and love and like good, wholesome, nice, solid energy. And then down here on earth, you got the greed and the envy and the confusion and the doubt and the fear and the worry and the bitching and the complaining and all the pessimism, right? Hatred, diversity. You have all that. So if you have a choice, and we do, what do you choose? Heavenly or earthly? And people will be like, well, heavenly. Well, then why aren't you? Well, because this person and that person and the president and the rules, and they forced us. And it's like, dude, see, that's what I mean. That's victim mentality. You got to get rid of victim mentality. You have to take ownership of everything that you think and do. And once you realize it's a simple choice, well, I don't know, man, I don't have any discipline. That's a choice. Well, geez, it's that person's fault. That's victim mentality. Like, just get rid of that shit. Okay, if I'm responsible and it's my choice and I get to make it, which is true, then start making better choices. That's how hard it is. Do you know how to make a choice? Well, of course I do. Then make one. But start being smart and realize that it is a choice you're making. So when you wake up in the morning and you get a bad email and you start to get pissed off, scared, nervous, worried, is that earthly or heavenly? Well, I'd say that's earthly based on what he said. Okay, you can choose that, or you can choose to be positive. Happy. Look at the bright side. How do you pray for strength and then curse what strengthens you? You know what I mean? Like adversity strengthens you. You should be excited that shit is tough. Toughness is what's stretching you. It's what's growing you. It's what's building you. And you're asking to be this thing. Well, you have to become the person that deserves that thing. So challenge is actually a good thing. Problems. That's how you get rich, bro. Solve problems. How do you get good at solving problems?
Failure, I think. We're failing. Working out.
No, how do you get good at solving them?
Doing them over and over.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So what do most people do when it comes to problems?
Run away.
They run away. They avoid them. I don't want any problems. I just want everything to be comfortable. Dude, listen, look for problems, figure out how to solve those problems, and pretty soon you start solving problems that people are willing to pay to be solved. And now you're like, dude, that ain't really a problem for me. That's a problem for you. Hey, how about you give me $50 and I'll get rid of that problem? And then all of a sudden you solve a bigger problem, and now it's not $50, it's $50,000. And now you got resources, and now you solve a bigger problem, and now you're getting $500,000 a problem. And pretty soon you don't have any problems. Okay? But you have to look for problems. You have to face problems, get good at solving them, quit running from them, quit avoiding them, quit cursing them. Because I'm telling you guys, it's all mindset. That's all mindset what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's perspective. It's how are you looking at something? You know, if you look at something different, it'll change, right? So if you look at your life one way and you want your life to change, look at it from a different perspective and it will change immediately. That's the fastest way to change anything. So if you realize, hey man, I need this good energy. I need this heavenly energy. How do I get it? If you don't know, that's okay, because people don't realize it. They're not aware. They're not enlightened. Well, I enlighten people. So how do you get it? You choose it. How do you make choices? God gave you free will. You just get to choose. So just choose. So it's not hard. And then you go, okay, well, what are my choices? Well, you can choose heavenly or you can choose earthly for anything. Anything. Name something. Name your last problem that you had.
Going to the ATM again last night.
And going to the ATM.
To get more money out.
What was the problem?
That I was chasing my losses.
How
At
was
the
that,
casino.
but how was that a problem?
I was only joking.
Was there more in there?
There was more in there.
Thank
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I know, yeah.
Like, dude,
Great point.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, I've lost money at a casino before and said, man, that's awesome.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I said,
I was cursing Caesar's Palace last night. It's like, I'm never coming back.
I'm going to show Brad that video.
Yeah.
all I'm saying, guys, is everybody's walking around with this fog.
Yeah.
When in reality, they think you have to be this to succeed and you have to be that to succeed. You don't have to be anything in particular to succeed. What you have to understand is everything's a choice. You get to make it and just take responsibility for the choices that you're making.
Mm-hmm.
And once you realize it's not because of that, it's because I chose this, I chose that. So when I wake up and I go to extreme gratitude, that puts my energy into this high vibrational frequency. And then all day long, I try to stay there. Because again, everyone's going to try to get you out of that. What's wrong with you, bro? Your tire's flat, bro. And you're like, I know, man, that's freaking awesome, dude. People will start to think you're crazy. People will start to say, what are you thinking? What are you doing? Are you crazy? And again, call me crazy. But, I'm the crazy guy with a couple of Ferraris and freaking, killer family life and like great kids. Like I'm that crazy bastard.
That's it.
And when people say, what'd you do? Dude, I dropped out of high school when I was 16. So it wasn't my education. What did I do? Well, I went and got a real job like my parents told me to do. All blue collar, all no success. In ways, but no money. So I went and got a real job, got Poison Oak, said, dude, this they told me that's part of the job. I'm like, no, I ain't.
What was that job, Brad?
Fighting forest fires.
That's right. Yeah.
But it wasn't really forest fires. They had me with this big water bag squirting stumps so the real firefighters didn't have to come back and put it out again.
Yeah.
So I was just like what they called a piss bag operator. And it was hard, dude. It was backbreaking. You're getting poked in the face with sticks and freaking, it's just nasty work. And I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this shit. Hell no. there's got to be better than this. So I quit, and everyone said I was stupid for quitting. So then I just opened up the newspaper. That's where you looked for a job back in those days. And I saw an ad for selling cars. So I'm like, okay, let me go in there. So I went into this car dealership, Williams Wilson Pontiac Volkswagen. So I went in there and applied, and they're like, okay, boom, I get the job. They told me to pick out a car. I'm like, what do you mean? They said, well, when you work here, you get to drive a car until you sell it. And I didn't have a car. So I'm like, are you serious? They're like, yeah, I'm absolutely serious. Go ahead and pick one out and put a dealer plate on it, and just that'll be yours. And I said, which cars can I pick? And they're like, any of them. And I'm looking to my left, and dude, there's a whole row of brand new Trans Ams with T-tops. And I'm freaking a kid with no car. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, these guys want me to have a Trans Am. Those guys want me to have Poison Oak.
Yeah.
Is that a hard choice? Does that take a rocket scientist to figure out? So I'm like, okay, I picked out a Trans Am. Boom. 2.5 weeks, made 6 G's in commissions. I'm like, and 6 G's, dude, back then is probably like 20 G's today.
Yeah.
I made more than my whole family. Wearing a suit, cologne, looking like a freaking stud, driving a Trans Am. And everyone's like, oh, sales is for the birds. I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're looking at, but I'm looking at sales is the only solution. And now I'm convinced of it. So if someone's listening to this and they're, they have a shovel in their hand or a spatula or an apron on, and they're serving guys like me, don't hate us, congratulate. Don't hate, emulate. Like, what did I do? Why don't you just do what I did? What did I do? I got in the position to receive commission. I mastered my skills, right? I established the right habits, and I was unstoppable, and I'm still unstoppable. So anyone can do it. The question is how are you looking at things? Are you now thinking in your head, well, you're not factoring in the fact that we're from Melbourne. Nobody in Melbourne can do it. You ain't got millionaires in Melbourne?
We do,
Yeah,
not
we
as
do.
many.
Yeah.
But we do.
But we do.
Trust me, dude. You guys can do anything you want to do if you put your mind in the right place. Your mindset is key, because it's possible to be, really, really positive and good frequency and still lose because you suck. You're not that good at anything.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get good at something. Like, you can't just be positive and shitty. So once you have the positive mindset, it allows you to get good at the skills that you need for whatever it is you want to do. It's just practice and repetition. It's just time and practice. That's it.
Yeah.
So like, I want to get good at basketball. You can time and practice. Again, how long have you practiced? Well, I got freaking my kids, and my mom doesn't really like me, and blah, 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 blah. Now you're back in the hole. But if you really, truly master what I'm talking about, now you can go out and develop whatever skills you need. You become very good. You don't even have to be the best, but you're good at what you do. Now you're in the right position. The only other thing that can screw you up is habits.
So what's the first problem you found to then go out and solve in the business world in terms of away from your actual job, as in?
Will it amount to anything?
Not necessarily.
Well, I mean, I solve people's transportation problems from the very get-go.
Yeah.
I solved my problems, paying rent. There was a lot of problems I solved. But when I started this company, that's what this building does mainly, is the software that Grant uses. Thank you.
Our friend Grant Cardone, for those that have listened to the last episode.
Yeah, Grant Cardone. So I developed that kind of solving my own problem. So what happened was, I helped this guy in the back of the dealership. He was minimum wage, and he was just a cool dude with a cool family. And I kind of brought him out front and showed him how to sell. So I watched him go from minimum wage to, 15, 20 grand a month selling cars. His whole life changed, and he became a better person. He gave more to his church. His kids came in brighter and happier, and his wife was happier. And I just watched how it made an impact with this guy's family. And I thought, man, dude, that's unbelievable. I've got the ability to help people freaking learn skills to make more money. Like, that's what I think I want to do, is help people. I wasn't even thinking of myself anymore. And what's crazy is, up till about that time, all I wanted to do was get rich for myself. And I could never make more than $500,000 a year. I tried everything. Didn't work. And then when I did that, I just felt like helping people. And I didn't even think about myself. I just thought, I'm going to help people. I got the ability to help people. I'm going to go help people. So I quit my job and started training like Grant Cardone competitor type guy. Like I was going to go compete with him because that's what he was doing. And that's what Tony Robbins was doing and all these gurus, they call them. So I'm like, I'm going to go be the best guru in the world. I'm going to help everybody become a master salesperson so they can make money and change their life and live better lives. So I quit my job and I went out on the road, and it didn't work very well. And I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working, because I used to be able to just like pull people out of a Burger King drive-through and turn them into a badass. Landscapers. I used to like see people at Foot Locker and be like, bro, come work for me. And, boom, massive more money. But when I went out and started doing it for myself, it wasn't working. So I thought, damn, what the hell? So I just compared what I used to do to what I was doing. And I realized there's 4 key things that you have to do when you train somebody, like actually train them. Number 1, you need the right way to do it in the first place, right? That's good content. So you could say Grant Cardone has good content. You could say the sales manager you worked for at some company was awesome. He has great content. So good content's out there. But then you need repetition. You need practice, and then you need accountability. And most companies that have training systems, they're not training. They're exposing people because they let them watch a video once. That's not going to do it. I watch mixed martial arts. Doesn't make me a black belt.
Yeah.
So it's like watching videos isn't the key. Repetition, practice, and accountability. So once I realized this, I'm like, I got to figure something out. This was in 99. And so I'm like, okay, I got to figure something. So I thought up, hey man, this thing called the internet is out. So like maybe if I put my stuff on the internet, and then I could, track them and monitor what they're doing and help them and da-da-da-da-da. So I developed LightSpeed, the very first version. This was years before I even sold it to Grant. And so I put my content in there and it started working. And I'm like, wow, this is freaking unbelievable. So I went out and started selling businesses a monthly license to access my training. Well, I ran into people that were using Grant, and they were using Zig Ziglar, and they were using all these big name trainers that I did not have a big name. I just started. No money, no name. And I was going up against people with money and names. So I just looked at a couple of customers once, and they were refusing to buy mine because they were stuck on somebody else. And I'm like, let me ask you a question. What if I had those people on this software? They said, oh, we'd buy it for sure. And I said, oh, okay. Hold on a minute. So I went over to the person that they used, and I said, hey, why don't you use my software? Give me what I call a little tad for Brad, and I'll tell you where your customer's willing to pay $1,000 a month just for this little system that I could build you in a week. So they started doing it. And so now I'm like, great, got Zig Ziglar, got Grant Cardone, got Tony Robbins, got Zig Ziglar. So now I was able to sell anybody. Like, who do you like? I got anybody. And that's really when I solved those problems for businesses and for those trainers and for myself. And little did I know, for a lot of people, because, I incorporated technology that allowed these guys to deliver their good content with repetition, practice, and accountability all in one platform. Still to this day, there's none that do that. Some people say, well, there's other learning systems. Yeah, but they just host videos. They're not set up and designed to make you actually learn what's in them. But long story short, that's what this company is, and that's one that kind of put me on the map. And then that is what allowed me to have relationships with all these big name people. And then hanging around with these big name people, people started wondering, well, who's that dude in the background? Who's that devilishly good-looking fellow? and once they figured out who I was, they started following me a little bit. And then I'm like, running around with Grant at the time, and I saw how his social media had a massive impact on his business. And I'm like, damn, dude, I need to get on social media. So I started a social media channel, took a couple of years and started building that up. And now with the personal brand, it's unbelievable what you can do with a personal brand.
I heard you say recently, which I couldn't believe, like the personal brand is earning more than, the companies that you've got. Is that correct?
In Hip National, yeah.
Wow.
Like, in other words, net, absolutely. Because like they'll pay me $50,000 to go speak for an hour.
Yeah.
Well, this goes right in my pocket. There's nobody to pay. I don't need employees for that. The business that the personal brand drives to the businesses, I count. But the businesses, they make millions and millions of dollars, but they take millions and millions of dollars too. So would you rather make 100 million and net 1,000 or make 1 million and net 1 million? So that's what I mean by that. It doesn't collectively make me more than all my businesses in top line revenue.
net.
But like the net, I would value my personal brand more valuable than any single individual asset that I have.
How long ago did you focus on your personal brand? When did you make
7 years.
Okay. And in that time, you've built, I mean, obviously a massive following.
Yeah, there's like 1.4 million on Instagram, a couple million on TikTok, you know, collectively maybe 5 million. And I don't know how many subscribers I have for Dropping Bombs because it doesn't show it the same. But I get like 1 million downloads a month.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And growing.
Yeah.
Dropping bombs, mate.
Yeah, mate.
we stream in Australia.
We listen in Australia.
Good on ya.
A mate of mine actually is a massive fan of yours, and I've got a couple of questions from him later on that I'll ask. But yeah, you're a popular man down under as well.
Well, good. Well, then if I come down under, you know, make sure I'm welcomed.
Oh, you will be.
Maybe we'll put on some sort of conference at the Sydney Opera
House.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Well, actually, because I want to kind of change tack. So yeah, that question you.
Do you want me to get the question?
Yeah,
up?
I'd like
So
to.
I'll
'cause
give him a.
It was quite an interesting one.
He's actually been DMing you too. I think he's been talking about.
Well, unfortunately, when you have a lot of followers and you get a lot of DMs, they don't show them to you.
No.
Well, no, you've been communicating with him.
Well,
So-
you're lucky.
Yeah.
Because when I go, I'll show you when we're done. 11:11, make a wish.
Oh, how good's that?
I always see that. 11:11. But anyway, when you go into, I'll show you when we're done. You can't see them all.
Yeah.
And then when you hit refresh, it's like more come up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where were these?
Gee, we did well to get through.
Yeah.
So his name's Marcus, massive fan of you and your work. But he just said, Brad, if the US dollar is the world's dominant reserve currency, intentional trade and world finance is done and backed by the US dollar. How and why is the US in $38 trillion of debt then? If they can create and print the US dollar, who the fuck do they owe money to, I guess?
Well, the better question, well, he already said why. Because we can print it. It's all make believe. It's all debits and credits. Like, dude, don't let it bullshit you. The reason the US dollar's in charge is because we're the superpower. You know, you know these wars and shit that take place? That's because someone was doing something that's going against the US dollar. So all of a sudden, you know, all of a sudden there's a problem in that region. So we go in, cause a war, destabilize the local government, put in our own, and now they're voting for our dollar again. So again, it's and again, I'm just speculating. I do not have any, you know, big ties into the government, but if you look at history, like the Federal Reserve, and you go back and you start to investigate things, you start to realize, like, dude, our dollar is the ruler because we are. And people don't like to admit that, but it's true. But it's also changing rapidly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like go look at like I think it's China. There's a group of them getting together going, hey, fuck that dollar. And watch what happens. All of a sudden there'll be a war. There'll be something going on. And it's like, wait a minute, we're over there because there's nuclear weapons? No. It's not why we're over there. There was no nuclear weapons. It was totally something else. But again, dude, I don't want to get a black helicopter coming out of the sky shooting me because I'm getting too close to the truth. So I'm going to say, I don't know, bro. I don't know. And when I go to, for example, Dubai, you know, they'll take a US dollar. But if you bring foreign currency here, we won't take it. So why is that? Because everyone knows the US dollar is worth something. But then again, dude, I don't know. Remember when it destabilized and like the Canadian dollar was worth more for a minute? And then the Canadian dollar now isn't. So like $1 here will get you like $10 there. And there's some countries that are like, you know, $1 here is literally like $2,000 there.
Yeah.
Like when we hire VAs, you know, we'll go to the Philippines. I can pay someone $100 a week. Someone goes, Brad, that's rude. Dude, $100 US dollars there is like good money.
Yeah.
So if someone says why, I don't know, bro. I didn't even go to college. Like, go ask some freaking expert. But I suspect it's because of we're a superpower. If you buck the system, we buck you back.
Oof.
Do you have, we've heard you talk in the past about ambition to go into politics, maybe be president one. Do you still have that ambition?
It's just, I wish type of thing.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to let me be president, first of all. Second of all, I don't believe the president's really controlling anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all a puppet show, guys. There's big, powerful people you've never heard of or seen calling the shots. It's not the president. You know what I mean? He's not calling the shots.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Bill Gates, the bigger people that you think, billionaires, they're in charge. They're not in charge either, dude. There's families you've never even heard their name before, and they're calling the shot. They control everything. That's why COVID happened. They're how much money someone made selling those shots?
Yeah. Do you fear,
trillions.
like, I mean, we saw, like, you've interviewed in the past Charlie Kirk. So how do you feel about, do you speak out with any kind of fear about, like
No.
you said before about getting too close to the truth, but
I mean, not really fear. I try to use common sense. Like, again, dude, if I'm going to die for saying it, well, then I'd have to be pretty convicted over it, which I'm not really convicted that much about anything. Like, I'm not really wanting to die over anything. Someone said, Brad, never tell somebody this or we'll kill you. And they were real. That was a serious threat. I just wouldn't say anything. Now, if it meant the whole world was going to die, I would sacrifice myself for, like, my family, my kids, something major important to me. But dude, just to, look like a hero online and then all of a sudden you're in prison or dead and everybody goes on and forgot what you even said, what's the purpose? You know how many people were canceled you've never heard of?
A lot?
But you've never heard of them.
No.
Yeah, so they thought, I've got to get this out to the world. Clip, you're done, bro. And what'd they do? They didn't do anything.
This episode of the dos&d show with Bradley, live from Las Vegas, is brought to you by Moomoo.
With Moomoo, you can trade across Australia, US, and Hong Kong markets all on the one app.
It's simple, fast, and gives you global access without the hassle of multiple platforms.
Download Moomoo today and start exploring global markets today.
Back to the episode with Bradley. It's
So,
more
yeah,
a
you
question
gotta-
of, you've built such a, like we spoke about before, now you make so much money off your personal brand, or can do, if you depending on where you want to put your eggs. But it's just a crazy world now where, like you said, you can be a hero online, you can gain a lot of followers very quickly, but at the same time, you can make a lot of enemies very quickly, which we don't necessarily see as a bad thing. However, the crazy state of affairs of the world and the way things are and the amount of hate that people get riled up about, it's just interesting to hear if that's something that sits in the back of your mind. I mean, you're very outspoken. That's something we love about you, but it's interesting to hear if you ever go, to self-censor here. Or,
I try to tell my truth. And again, like I just said about the US dollar, the truth is I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
I just suspect. But to act like I know when I know that I don't know, that's what I won't do. And that's why they'll never kill me, because they're not killing people that accidentally might touch on something.
Yeah.
They're killing the people that are gaining influence. They're killing the people that are changing massive opinions. Like Charlie Kirk, he was getting a lot of people to start rethinking some shit. Well, not in this world. But again, that's why I ultimately I don't fear. You know why? Because, dude, we're all going to die.
yeah,
And you guys might think I'm going to die first because I'm older. Shit, you might die flying home.
yeah.
Don't say that.
But it's true.
Yeah, of
like
course.
you may think you have all the time in the world. You might not have more than 38 minutes left.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, we're all going to die. And because of that, I'm not afraid of it.
But not even the whole end result of death, but even just turning that tap off of, okay, being pushed out to a larger audience, we talked about cancelled or silenced or shadow banned or whatever you want.
Well, that's where common sense comes in.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I could talk about a lot of things that I could talk about, but why?
Yeah.
What am I going to help somebody? Am I going to save something? because that's what you have to weigh. You know, when the whole Palestine or Israel thing came up, you know, people would post on my shit. I don't see you saying anything about Palestine. I don't know anything about Palestine. What am I going to say?
Yeah.
Do you think me saying something is going to stop the bombs that are dropping? Because they're not.
Yeah.
So what can I do? I don't know. Well, what's your opinion? It matters. It matters to who? You think Netanyahu's over there going, what's Brad think?
Yeah.
What's Brad saying? No, but dude, that could cause me to just get clipped. So now with the shit I am saying and I am making an impact for people, I can no longer help. So why did I worry about something that I couldn't affect when I was over here quite happy affecting things? I'm affecting people's futures by making an impact, by basically shining the light on the value of themselves. I want to increase somebody's self-worth. If you want to increase your net worth, increase your self-worth. That's a fact. The reason you are where you are is because you believe what you believe, period.
Yeah.
And that's what controls your decisions and your behavior and your mindset and everything. So your programming from your parents, from society, from whatever, those are your beliefs. And your beliefs control your behavior. And your behavior controls your actions. And your actions control your results. So if you're not happy with what you have to change what you're doing. And in order to change that, you have to change your behavior. Well, in order to change that, you have to change your beliefs. Well, how do you change your beliefs? There's only one way to do it. Do you know?
I think to change your beliefs, you have to be open-minded, and you have to ask yourself and test yourself and basically not be married to your own beliefs.
Well, if they're your beliefs, you're already married to them. How do you change them? And you're close, open-minded. You do kind of have to be open-minded. But what has to happen? Yeah, there's only one way to do it.
Let go of the old beliefs?
Or be proven.
No, we're close. Come on, folks.
Come on, Darcy, let's do it.
How did you form your beliefs in the beginning?
Indoctrination or
Information.
Information, yeah.
So if you need to change them,
change where we're getting our information.
you need new
Research.
information.
Okay.
You have to have new information. Period. You can't change your beliefs unless you get new information. So where is this information? Where is it?
Well, that's
It's the people we're surrounded by. It's the TV
the music
we watch.
you're listening to. It's the media that you're listening to.
Yeah.
It's everything. So again, dude, if you need new information and the shit that you've been getting isn't serving you, change the source of information. Like look other places for your information, like books, self-help books, autobiographies. Like just start reading shit. That's all you have to do. Do you guys read every day?
Try to, but not enough.
I used
to.
I've got a Kindle, so
Try to means no.
okay. Thanks, Brad.
I was used to, but no.
Dude, if I were you guys at your age, I would be reading voraciously.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Well, again, I would bet that if you started 3 years from now, you'd go, that was the most impactful thing I've ever done thus far.
Do you read every day?
Every day. And I never used to. Coincidentally, again, every day. Like if you guys just said, well, I read a book on the way over here that was pretty good. I go, and I download the book. Books are where information is. I listen, audio, podcasts. I seek opinions and thoughts and counsel from people that have already done it. Like I'm seeking information because at the end of the day, if you want to change what you're getting, you have to change your beliefs. There's no way around it. So you have to get new information. So once I realized that, I'm like, well, shit, where's this information? Well, shit, there's a book someone said was a good information. So I opened the book and I read the book. And then I read the book. And then I read the book. And then I read it again. And then I read another book. And then I read another book. And then I read another book. And I'm like, damn, this is good information. And over the years, dude, it's working.
Yeah.
It seems to be working. So it's just a simple thing is called read a damn book. People ask, if you were 20 again, what would you do? Dude, I would have started reading at 20 years old. I'd probably be a billionaire if I would have been an avid reader.
Has it changed your parenting philosophy then? Because if you're taking in new information, like you've got 7 children,
that I know of.
Your information from your first child to the 7th child, I'm assuming it's the information you've consumed over that journey changes. Does that change the way you parent?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. It changes how you behave. So that's parenting. That's, your beliefs about fitness, your beliefs about love, your beliefs about finances, investing, everything, you know, it changes you. I would read if I were you. Let's just keep it like that. Like if I were you guys, and by the way,
We need to get back into it. We used to.
when you boil it down, what is that? It's a decision.
Yeah.
Like
Instead of scrolling on this, it's just
it's the
picking
decisions that we're making every day that determines what we're doing. So the decisions you make determine the road you take, period. So again, when you boil it down to the simplest form, which is what I like to do, because I don't want to sit here and pretend, oh, you know, I have a PhD, and when the polyunsaturated hydrocarbons flow through the medulla oblongata, they increase the blood flow to the erector pili. I think theoretically, if we could ascertain more of an understanding and a comprehension of the theoretical, am I trying to make you think I'm smart, or am I trying to actually communicate? Because when I simplify it, it's so a 2-year-old can understand. I want everybody to understand. You don't have to be good looking. You don't have to have a 6-pack. You don't have to have the right parents. You don't have to have the right skin color. You don't have to live in a certain town. You don't have to live in a certain country. You just have to understand it's decisions. God gave us all free will. That's the power that we all have. They say everyone has their own gifts. The biggest gift is free will, the ability to choose. So once you realize, like, dude, that is an amazing gift. I get to choose. So now, if that's so powerful, the ability to choose, why don't I start figuring out how to use that power? Well, you make choices. Like, do you read? No, not really. It's a fucking choice, bro. If I was you, I'd make the opposite choice. Yes, I'm going to read. I'm going to read every fucking day. And by the way, 10 to 30 pages. Doesn't take that long. I wake up at 4:35 in the morning. Dude, I got a book in my hand within 30 minutes of waking up. Every single day. Or listen to it. Period. Every day. What about Sundays? Every day. And I've heard people, dude, that's crazy. Good. Call me crazy. But it's new information I'm getting. I don't want the same information I've already got. That's why when I go to speak, they pay me $50,000. They used to tell me to shut up in school. Now they're giving me $50,000 to talk. And when I say, what do you want me to talk about? They're like, just do what you do. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever. So it's unbelievable to me that people pay me to go speak, and they don't even care what I'm speaking about because they just want to hear my opinion on things, which is crazy to me. Well, it's now starting to make sense. It's because, dude, what I think is like common sense, a lot of people have never even thought of. Like, dude, do you realize it's the choices that you're literally making that keep you broke, that keep you fat, that keep you lonely, that keep you miserable? Who makes your choices?
We do.
So who's responsible?
We are.
Period.
Yeah.
So
there it is.
So again, like people can sit there, and there are going to be people listening to your podcast, and they're going to be like, yeah, mate, but this motherfucker. and it's like, dude, that's a perfect example of what I'm saying. Like, you're deciding not to believe it. You're deciding not to even investigate it. You're deciding that I'm full of shit. Good. But I'm telling you, I used to be the same person. I used to doubt it all too. But it's just universal truth, man. So you can't argue it. You just have to try and disprove it. So pick up a book and read it and get some new information, and you'll start to go, maybe he's right. But also execution, you can get all the information in the world, but if you don't apply it, then it's not going to do much. So again, read the book. It starts to make you think, because a lot of people aren't thinking as much as they think they are. And then when you start thinking, you start to really kind of find yourself, and you start to, learn more about you. And really what you're doing is you're starting to learn who you are, and you start to value that relationship, which is basically raising your self-worth. Yeah. And dude, that's what raises your net worth.
How about a couple for the viewers and listeners, a couple of recommendations, books? Yeah, books.
I would strongly suggest everybody go and read As a Man Thinketh, for sure. Mm-hmm. The 4 Agreements, for sure. The Magic of Thinking Big, for sure. U Squared, for sure. Dude, I could keep going. Like there's a million of them.
Yeah.
The War of Art. People say, you mean The Art of War? No, The War of Art. Stephen Pressfield. A Case for Christ, which is a great book. Shit, dude, I could just keep going.
Yeah.
I could
And don't
go
forget The
and
Hard
go.
Way by Brad Lee.
The Hard Way.
Yes.
Again, The Hard Way is really just a quick, cliff notes of all of them.
Yeah.
It's the shit I learned the hard way. That shit I'm reading now in these books. Like, dude, it was right there.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do that. Like, shit, it was right there in that book. Because a lot of what I'm reading, I already knew.
Yeah.
It just reinforces, like, see, goddamn, I should have read this when I was fucking 20. But I didn't. I thought I knew everything. And, I tried to read, but I didn't. So if I were listening to this podcast and I was serious about changing my life in any way, I would just say, okay, I'm going to start reading 10 pages a day before anything. Like, dude, I don't care if the house is on fire. I'm going to read 10 pages, then put the fire out. I'm reading 10 pages every single day minimum. And then 10 pages, you'll start to go 20. And then you pick up a damn good book that you're totally into, and you'll be like, fuck, I read an hour this morning. And then you'll start to become a voracious reader. And watch 3 or 4 years later, you'll be like, unbelievable. Do you read books? They'll be like, not really. We try. And you're going to be like, fuck that, dude. Read books.
I'm annoyed at myself because we used to, when we say we used to, when we started this, we were reading every day. We read mountains of books.
And I bought him a Kindle for his 30th too. So
Well, when you
I need to get
fly
back the Kindle.
down under, just
Yeah.
get yourself a audio book, download it, and the whole way home, man, just listen.
LFG.
Take notes. You got your little note taker there.
yeah.
Ask yourself questions when it's playing, and people say, what book? Dude, don't read the books necessarily because I just said them, even though you should. Read the books that are in the area of your interests. Like I would be reading different books if I wanted to be something else.
Yeah.
So it's like I just want to understand the mind because it's mindset, skill set, habits. So I'm reading books on the mind, personal behavior, human behavior. I'm reading books about sales, communication, leadership, personal branding, autobiographies, relationships, how to build, nurture relationships. I'm reading shit that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And I'm reading books on habits and why we do the things we do and think the way we think, human behavior. But I can show you hundreds of books in my phone.
What do we reckon?
Coin spot.
Coin spot?
All right. So we're going to jump into our coin spot.
I thought you guys had some hard questions.
Oh, come on.
Well, the way you said it, is there anything is off limits? It's like saying shit.
That's out of respect.
Yeah, but go ahead, get off limits.
Off limits.
It doesn't scare me.
What's off? What would be an off limits question?
What's off limits? Ooh.
I don't know that you have any.
I don't think we do.
Let's go.
All right, go on. Let's give him an
Go
off
off
limits.
limits.
Let's go off limits before we wrap up. Come on, Dos. What's your off limits question for Brad?
Jeez.
I want
ahead.
to hear more about this Tem in Vegas the night you a couple of weeks after you lost your $2,800 that made you stay. What made you? What was it about her that made you stay?
Well, number one, I always thought I wanted a virgin. She was a virgin.
There you go.
Number two, she was gorgeous. So a gorgeous virgin.
Gorgeous virgin. There we go. Now your turn.
Oh,
Top it. Go on.
I can't top that.
Yes, you can.
But that's not off limits. Off limits
No,
would be like, Brad, I Googled you and a report came up and it said something like this. What's the story there?
Yeah.
Who have you? All right. Who's been your biggest celebrity fallout? Not celebrity, a well-known fallout person that you
I haven't had any.
mended a few relationships.
No, but I mean, if you're referring to Grant, like
not
I'll
necessarily
FaceTime
Grant.
him right now.
Not
And I'll bet you
necessarily
he'll
Grant.
answer.
No. Yeah, why not necessarily Grant?
No, dude, the Grant thing. Like, listen, me and Grant. When I met Grant, he was training car salesman. He was a pretty known car trainer for sales in cars. He was taking all his money and he was throwing it into real estate. So his passion was real estate, but his vehicle for making money was training car salesmen. So, and I was in the car business, so I knew who he was. So when I met him, he wasn't as big as he is now. He wasn't a billionaire. He wasn't in jets and helicopters. He was just a normal dude training car salesman.
Yeah.
So when we met, I kind of showed him this, and it gave him a lot of horsepower, and he crushed it, and it gave him more of a footprint, and then social media. So I got to hang out with him before. Like right now, if I just met Grant, I probably wouldn't have had the relationship we had, because, you know, once you get big, everybody wants to be close and be your buddy.
Yeah.
And then it's too late, because now everybody wants to be my buddy. So I was before that. So we were buddies. And then we made a deal. And I thought in my head, hey, I'll do this, you do this. That's a deal? Deal. Well, as soon as the money got big, he didn't like the deal anymore. It's like he owed me some serious monthly money, and he didn't want to keep paying it. So he changed the deal without asking or without me agreeing. He just changed the deal. Now, where I'm from, that's called reneging. That's called you're breaking your deal, bitch, and that's not cool. So, but in reality, you know, it was still a lot. He changed. I mean, he was still paying me a lot. He still pays me a lot. But that's why everybody thinks we fell out, because we were buddies, and I was speaking at all his events, and I was helping him put on the events, and I was helping him, and he was helping me, and like we were buddies. Like everybody thought a lot of people for a long time thought he owned this place. And we hung out all the time, went on trips, and, you know, played backgammon for fucking hours every day. And then when he did that, I kind of didn't like that. So we quit kind of hanging out. That's all. Because if you ask me, man, if I'm like a real friend, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And if I were a real friend, I wouldn't have taken offense to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were both, I think, at fault. What I should have done was said, dude, no problem, bro. Still a lot of money, man. I got you, big dog. I got you. And not let the money be an issue.
Sure.
That's why I say relationships over money. Had I learned that rule, that's in the hard way. Had I learned that rule prior to, me and him would probably still be buddies. And I would have made a whole lot more money with him, because look, he went on to make a whole lot of money. So like I probably screwed myself worrying about this little bit of money that he didn't want to pay, which again meant more to me than it did to him. In other words, like when you're taking home $6 million and you only give me $1 million, and now you don't even want to give me that. Like I'm just thinking, motherfucker, you're getting the 6.
Yeah.
But again, it was the wrong perspective. I should have valued the relationship more than the money. And I would have said, bro, I got you. And then we'd probably still be besties.
What's the relationship you have with Jordan Belfort?
I don't really have one with him.
Because he's been on your show before, and it was a really good podcast.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan is an interesting character. And, you know, obviously I watched The Wolf of Wall Street. I heard his whole story. So I had him on the podcast a couple times. I know him, like I can call him. If he saw me, he'd say, what's going on? But like I didn't hang out or I don't really consider us like besties.
Pals.
Yeah, no. Although, like again, if he saw me or I saw him, I'd be like, Jordan, what's up? But we're not like best. Like me and Grant, like we went on vacations with our families together.
Gotcha.
Jordan, I've been to his podcast. He's been on mine. We've talked a few times. I think I had dinner a couple times. That's it. But those two got together, boy. Did you see that one?
Yeah, that was big. Yeah.
Well, I called Grant and I said, dude, you got beat on that one. Like Grant was not in his normal element. He was trying to be right, and he like missed a lot of stuff. I think Jordan had the better of him on that podcast. Personally.
Yeah.
I mean, but just grading the podcast.
Yeah.
But if I rather trade with being Grant or being Jordan, it'd be Grant all day long. Because Grant's got more than Jordan, I think, ever did now legally.
Yeah.
And he didn't rat on anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm from the old school where you don't tell on your friends. You don't, snitches get stitches. But then again, like I tell people this too, don't do crime with me because I don't want to do any.
No.
So don't even implicate me. Don't name me. Don't tell me your ideas. Don't bring nothing criminal around me. Why? Because I'll fucking tell on you. Why? You're a snitch? Nope. I'm not a snitch, but that's why I don't want to hear it. But dude, imagine you get popped. You guys, are you besties?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine you get popped for doing something, and they tell you, we're giving you 90 years in prison unless you tell me he did it.
Oh,
And then I will let you off, and he will go to prison for 20 years. What do you want to do?
fuck.
Because you know what I'd do? He did it.
I'm going to prison.
You're going to prison, motherfucker, not me. Not 90 years, dude. I'll go do 5.
years.
I
Wait,
might even do 10. But dude, as soon as it's like the rest of your life type of thing,
Yeah.
Pasadena, California, you shouldn't have. Now, again, if I brought you in and I was equally as guilty, I would never fucking tell. You'd have to prove it against him. Because like, I did it. You know what I mean? Then I would never tell. Why? Well, because I did it. You got me.
Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't confirm or deny he was with me. Like, I'd never tell that way. But if someone said, dude, it's either you going down for 90 years or your buddy's going down for 20, and we were both fucking there.
If you're both guilty, yeah. But that's actually
And that's why I say, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Well,
People
well,
right now, I fucking liked him until then. No, dude, just don't do it with me. Like, I live a life of freaking angelic behavior. I don't break laws. I don't commit fraud. I don't conspire. I don't do anything wrong. Period.
So can I ask Sam? I mean, as you build your name and you build your influence and you build your wealth, how many people then? I mean, obviously, I assume so many people would approach you for investment opportunities. But then, when it comes to towing that line of something that's, back door, back room kind of, does that happen? Do you get approached for that kind of stuff?
I've had people like say stuff, and I say, well, isn't that this, that, and the other thing? And they're like, well, yeah, but you can just say, and I'm like, pass.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, dude, do you know what's wrong? If you know what's wrong, that's enough for me.
Yeah, of course.
Like, dude, I don't need to say, well, what's the law state? If it's wrong, it's wrong.
I'm just interested if you get approached for that kind of.
Very rarely.
Yeah,
very rarely. And it's usually by somebody that happened to run into me and just threw it out there. Like, I don't hang around people like that.
Yeah.
So nobody that I know that I hang around that are in my circle, my environment, are like that, or they wouldn't be in it. So I don't hear it a lot because I don't hang around it.
Do you
But
think
I've
it's
ran
common
into
in the industry though?
What industry?
Outside of your circle, well, not in the industry, but in, I don't know.
But what industry? 'Cause a lot of people.
Well, not industry is probably the wrong word. Maybe the top % of wealthy Americans.
Dude, of course there's backroom deals going on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd be a lot richer if I were willing to take some of those deals.
of course.
But dude, I don't want to enrich myself without a fair exchange. Meaning, if you guys just said, dude, I'll give you $50,000 for your iPhone, I'll take it. I'm not stupid. But I would say, you realize you can go get this for $1,000. And you go, yeah, but it's yours. And now we'll have Brad Lee's iPhone. I'd say, bro, are you telling me that you're giving me 50 grand because this was mine? They say, yeah, okay, give me 50 fucking G's. Like, I'm not stupid. But at the end of the day, if you thought something crazy, like, no, dude, I want to be able to know that I gave more value than I received. And it's not that hard to do.
No.
You got to be ethical. You got to have integrity, and you got to be, I think, generous and kind. So like, I could have made worse deals I could have sued Grant, but what would that have done? Even if I won, I probably would have lost. So it's like, listen, just in my opinion, you just got to do the right thing. Now, I haven't always been that way, but now I am. And I've been that way for a long time. And I'm telling you, it's the right way to be.
Did money ever change you when you came into serious wealth?
I don't really have serious wealth even yet. So I don't know what serious wealth is yet.
Okay.
I'm still waiting on my break.
Okay.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
Phew.
Well, when you had more than you had, when life became different.
I think I just look rich. I need to be rich.
Okay.
You know the difference?
Tell me.
Well, like, I would say Grant's rich because he has like apartment buildings. Now, some could argue, well, they're not his, they're the investors. Yeah, well, trust me, you signed your rights away. They're his.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't have thousands of units. If everything crashed right now, I wouldn't be able to sustain the way I live the rest of my life yet. Now, if I liquidated this place and liquidated some of my businesses and liquidated some shit, yes, I probably would be fine.
Yeah.
But I haven't liquidated them, and I'm not there yet. So I would say 3 to 5 years before I would consider myself what you just said. But I do have ample. And what was your question?
About did money ever change you, or feel like it? I mean, obviously, it's
I don't think money changes people. I think it amplifies them.
yeah, okay,
So if you were a dick with no money, you're just a bigger dick with money.
sure,
But I have changed over the years. Like I used to be basically out for myself. Like, dude, when I was younger, dude, I would do shit that was not like legal.
yeah,
Business wise,
Well, I mean, dude, I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, like I mowed your lawn for $20,
Yeah.
but like that, no, like I'd go into, allegedly, I would go into like stores with a shopping list from my friends and throw it in a grocery cart and fucking push it out the door. That's called theft.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd steal shit. But I was a kid, so I didn't have any money. I wanted some shit. I wanted to make money. So, dude, I wasn't like, oh, I would never get in a gray area or break the law. Before, I didn't really have that kind of integrity. As soon as I turned 18 and realized that, now you got more severe consequences, well, then I took a big change. But I was still kind of out for myself. I didn't really care that much. Like if I sold you a car and made $10,000 profit, it was so I could make money. I didn't sell you the car to help you. So it was about 30 years old when I started kind of shifting that way. And now what's funny is, in the online guru world, there's a lot of people selling courses and masterminds and coaching and all this shit where half of them are called scammers, most of them are called scammers, but that's by the dipshits. Because a lot of those people that I know, dude, their course works. Like you have to do the work though, and people don't do it. So what do? It's just scam me. When it wasn't a scam at all. They just didn't apply the shit that they learned. And then obviously there are some scammers in that industry. So what I always say is look and, check their records. Like, do they do what it is they're teaching you to do, or are they teaching you to do it? See the difference? Like right now I could put something on where it's like, hey, let me show you how to buy apartment buildings. Oh, Brad, let me see your portfolio. Well, I don't really have any.
yeah.
Well, then how are you teaching me?
It's a lot of that back home, isn't it?
cricketing terms, they say runs on the board, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. So like, just look. I mean, you can see whether people, like I teach people how to create courses. Well, dude, I showed Grant, work for him. I've showed a lot of people, I've made millions of dollars showing people how to create online interactive training systems for their company or to sell courses and training. And so like, obviously I know what I'm doing. So if I'm saying, hey, pay me to teach you this, I would pay me to teach you that. I wouldn't pay me to teach you how to, build rockets, because I've never built rockets. And I would never offer a course for shit I don't know or know someone who knows. So that's what I mean by ethical.
Have you had anyone or like a large offer come to you to purchase LightSpeed and take it off your hands? Mm-hmm. And what would it take for someone to buy it off you?
Nowadays, I'd probably take $100 million.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think so right now. It used to be a bill. Now I'm like,
Bill.
100 mil would be pretty good, because I have all these other things going on. Before it was the only thing.
Yeah.
And not only that, like I've succeeded in spite of myself. This company should have been $1 billion company over and over again. I'm the one that's kept it small.
Why?
Because I didn't know any better. Like I didn't know to raise money. I should have raised $50 million 10 years ago. It would have been easy to do. We're a profitable SaaS company. They were throwing money at companies that were losing money. So I should have raised money, focused on acquisition, and that would have changed everything, and then took it public. And like, there's a lot of things I could have done that I didn't. And I could probably still do it. But now I have multiple things going on.
Yeah.
And so individually, it's not my main one anymore. It's one of my main ones. And, I would just take less for it now. Cause like, to me, it's like, I'm going to sell it anyway, one of these days. So yeah, 100 mil. I think if I stay the course and execute my plan, I'll be able to get $250 million for it in a couple of years. 5 max. I think I get 250. But yeah, right now, like I grab my shit and leave. Give me a Hunsk.
Take the cricket bat as well.
Yeah, give me $100 million. I'll go give it to Cardone Capital. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Grant's team's listening. They're going to be calling me.
That's funny.
No, but I'd take that $100 million and just roll it into other things. And
I was going to ask, if you lost it all, or not lost it all, but if well, yeah, let's say you lost it all, how long do you think it would take in terms of a timeline to be able to build back to something of a similar beast in terms of everything you've learned over the years?
I'd say 2-3 years.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, once you learn how it works and what you're doing and the relationships that you have and that you can leverage, you can get it back pretty damn easy.
Love it.
All right. I think it's time for
We got to do it. We got to do it. So we got to say big thank you to our good friends at CoinSpot, DOS, the number one place to buy, trade, sell cryptocurrency. And if you think you've missed a Bitcoin boat, which a lot of people do feel that way, you can start investing for as little as $1 Australian
There's
dollar.
plenty of people using it.
There he is. There's 3 million Australians use it, and over 500 cryptocurrencies you can buy. So not just Bitcoin as well, DOS.
So in post-production for us, the lights might dim and the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music will start. You know that show. You know how it works. So we've got a multiple choice question, Brad. So
How many?
just one. So the suspense is real. So these are 4 common objections in sales. Instead of choosing one, walk us through how a real closer overcomes each of these, I guess. Or you can probably choose one in terms of which one is, I guess, you find the easiest to overcome. So A, I don't have the money. B, it's not the right time. C, I need to think about it. And D, I need to talk to my partner or wife or husband.
And what would you like me to do with those?
Well, maybe explain to me how
to overcome
each
objections.
one potentially.
Well,
What's the most common one? Firstly, what's the most common one? That,
All of those.
okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, how you overcome any objection, let alone those, because those are somewhat easy unless they're true. But the first thing that you need to do to overcome objections is make sure that it's real, right? You got to make sure it's real, because people will say whatever they want to say to get out of the selling environment and the situation, and people don't like confrontation, so they'll say, I got to get my wife, or I don't have the money, or whatever those were. It was, I don't have the money, I got to get my wife.
Money,
Time.
right time.
Yeah, it's not the right time.
Need to think about it
Let me think about it.
and talk to my partner.
Spouse.
Right. So like if you were to say, let me think about it, a lot of salesmen will be like, well, what are you going to think about? Like, shit, dude, you've been thinking for 30 years. You think something's going to pop up in your head tomorrow? It hasn't after 30 years. Why is it going to do tomorrow? That's putting them in confrontation. And that's assuming that that's truly the objection. The first thing you want to do is identify and isolate the objection to make sure it's real. You do this by hypothetically solving the problem. So if you say you don't have time, hypothetically, if you had all the time in the world, would you pull the trigger? Now, if people go, then I'd start maybe being a little more serious. Unless they say yes, that wasn't the real objection. They're lying to you. They're giving you a false reason, and you can't close a false reason. So what you do is you identify and isolate the objection to make sure it's real. So like if I said, oh, you got to get your wife, dude, if I didn't get mine, she'd kill me. Totally understand. If she was here right now and she told you to pull the trigger, would you do it?
Yes.
No, that means that's the real objection. Now I move to step 2, which is solve with logic. Logic is an acronym in this case and a double entendre. It's also use your damn fucking head. Number 1, leverage obvious gain, intelligence, and common sense. So if that's the truth and you just said you would move forward if she was here and told you to pull the trigger, what's the most logical thing we need to do next in order to solve the problem that she's not here?
Call her.
Call her, FaceTime her, let's go get her. Come on, get in the car, let's go. We'll drive over there, dude. Let's take it over there. Let's show her. Don't just try to describe it. I want her to feel it too. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Boom, problem solved. Now, again, if it's a false objection and you tried that, oh no, she's working right now. No, I'll talk to her and come back tomorrow. And then you're like, well, you sure? And then you're stuck because you didn't do it the right way. It works with all of them. Give me another one.
I don't have the money.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, if you had the money ready to go, you'd be ready to move?
Yeah, I would.
Have you ever thought of financing?
No,
How's
I
your
haven't.
credit? If I could get you financed, get small, affordable payments, would you be ready to pull the trigger?
For sure.
Let's go. Boom. So you just get past the objection by hypothetically solving it, making sure it's real. But most people won't do that, dude. They just assume it's real and try to solve it, and it doesn't work. And now they're wondering why it didn't work. What could have I said? Nothing. They were lying to you. They were giving you a smokescreen. What was the next one?
It's not the right time, Brad.
Well, dude, listen, there's never the right time per se, but if this were a more ideal time, are you ready to pull the trigger? Is this the thing that you actually want?
Yeah, I do want it.
Okay. Now, see, again, that tells me that this is obviously the real objection. So now I got to logically, so what time would be more ideal for you?
Maybe tomorrow. Maybe.
Okay, so why don't I send over the paperwork, or we handle the paperwork right now, and I can deliver it tomorrow?
That sounds
You
great.
just use logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but usually tomorrow's not a better time unless like we're at your office. It's like if it's a real legit thing, well, why don't I get the paperwork? I'll send it over here shortly and then I'll deliver the car tomorrow. Or, hey, maybe I can just do the paperwork now and I'll come get the check tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Come get the check tomorrow and we're cool. Or whatever.
It's
the same technique though, you
Yeah,
notice?
100%.
Yeah, I need to think about it.
And I would say, listen, not thinking about it would be a big mistake. I mean, this is a pretty big decision. First question I always ask is, what is it information wise that you need to make a decision? Like, do you have all the information you're looking for? They go, yeah. Okay. Well then based on that, what is it you're going to think about? They say, well, I'm going to think about this. I'm going to think about that and the other thing. Well, let me gather some information, but out of curiosity, if you did all your research and you had that all figured out, is this the right color, the right model, the right product, the right service, whatever? Is this a fit? Would you pull the trigger if that were all the case?
Yeah, I love it.
See? So I have identified that he does need to think about it. But dude, people don't really need to think about it. Okay? No one needs to think about it. Have you ever really needed to think about it?
Of course not. No.
Yeah, you don't need to think about it, dude.
Yeah.
So I tried this one with Ed Milet and closed him on this. I said, because he kept saying, I need to think about it. I need to think about it, dude. I said, let me ask you a question. If it was free right now, would you do it? And he goes, yeah, if it was free, I'd do it. And I said, okay, well then somewhere between free and what I'm asking, we have a deal. He goes, are you closing me right now? So again, it's like you just use logic.
Yeah.
Objections are 90% false. It's a reason to get away from you. That's all. So you have to understand that as a salesperson and hypothetically solve it. Tell me your dog died.
My dog passed away.
So hypothetically, if little Rover came back today and he was wagging his tail and he loved that thing, would you pull the trigger?
Yes.
Okay, so now that's the real reason. Well, what can you do logically? I can't bring Rover back. But what if we got you a puppy and included it with this that looks just like Rover? Because you're going to go get a new puppy anyway, aren't you?
Definitely.
And I'm sorry for your loss, but listen, the new little Rover will fill your heart just like the last one. So I'll start the paperwork. We'll go get the dog and we'll drive it over to your house.
He's a genius.
What was the one heard you the objection or how you got Tony Robbins over the line? That was another good one. I think you said something about the events.
Well, I did the same thing. He basically was pushing me out of his house again. And I said, let me ask you a question, Tony, because his whole thing is helping people. He just wanted to help people. Like, okay, then he's got to go. He's busy. He's got to go. I said, let me ask you a question, Tony, because it turns out it was something else, but it's the exact thing. I said, how many people do you have in the audience when you're doing those events? He goes, I don't know, 10, 20,000. And then I said, well, what about the rest of them? He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, there's 8 billion people in the world. What about the rest of them? I think he said something to the effect of, well, I mean, 20% is a little bit high. And so it's like, oh, the real reason came out. It was, he didn't want to pay that. So because of course it's Tony Robbins. So I said, Tony, I'm going to make you a deal. I'm going to make you a deal that only Tony Robbins gets.
Yeah. Brad,
So
this
I
is
closed them.
fucking awesome.
This is unreal.
Before we go, we got to give you, part of our show back in Melbourne, all guests go home with what's called the dos&d goodie bag. Now, normally there's a bunch of brands that come on board.
A truckload of goodies.
We're talking, it becomes an infomercial giving out the guests. But because we've had to travel light, we've got one of our most loyal ones on board, which is Milkman Australia, which is all things male grooming. Now, inside there, Brad, for you, Milkman have sent you home with a few goodies for your next travel. There should be some natural deodorant. There should be some hair powder, hairbrush, and of course a travel bag, courtesy of our friends at Milkman Australia.
I can see you just using that later.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you, Milkman.
Milkman. Everyone head to milkmanaustralia.com. Use the code dos&d, 20% off.
I'm using the
Not
coin
bad at all.
today. You've got the deodorant on,
I
so
know.
we use Milkman every day. 20% off milkmanaustralia.com. Use the code dos&d.
Beard care, hair care, skin care, deodorant, the lot.
If you want to look something like Brad, and as we've heard on this podcast, I've seen he's a very, very good looking rooster. Milkman will help you out, won't they, Dos?
Definitely.
Milkman, go get your Milkman. And more importantly, keep your lady away from him.
That's a fantastic. Brad, thank you so much for having us here. It's a huge honor for us. We've been such big fans of yours for so long. You continue to inspire us, and to be sitting across from you is quite surreal. So we want to say a huge thank you. It means a lot to us. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Good eye.